Welcome to yet another video, my dearest family. So in this particular video, we're going to be exposing the truth about demonic music.
Some stuff going on with music that I want to show to you, and why we tell God's people to make sure they make a difference between what is of God and what is of the flesh and of the devil. Remember, the Bible tells us that a demon, an evil spirit, troubled Saul, king of Israel. And then it tells us that when David played, when he played the instrument, the harp, the devil left Saul. He doesn't even say when he sang. He played the instrument, which means there is a tune. There is a musical that drives away demons. If the Spirit of God can be summoned by music, as the Bible tells us that Elisha said, get me a harpist, get me a musician. Then the Bible says, as the musician played, the hand of the Lord came upon Elisha. If the Spirit of God can be summoned by music, and the demon can be cast out with music, it tells you that there are tunes that are from God, and there are tunes that are of the devil, which means you turn it the other way, you can invite demons with music, and you can resist the Spirit of God, grieve the Spirit of God with music. Yes, sir. So it's not okay to think that we can just lift a musical from the world and put in Christian lyrics. I would say Christian sounding lyrics. They're just merely Christian sounding, because when you listen to the details, you may be surprised it's not Christian at all. So we can lift Christian sounding music and put on a Christian sounding songs, lyrics, and put on music of the world, and expect that somehow to bless people because we think, we've Christianized it. Really? That may be music from the pit of hell. You don't even know where it came from. Yes, sir. This will tell you why you have lots of God's people who constantly have these sicknesses, these ailments, problem in their finances, problem in their life. No matter how often you pray for them, but they keep following the same thing that is wrong, and the trouble just continues. This cycle of spirits and demons harassing them, and they may not even know that those things are demons. They may not even know because they're not educated enough in the things of God to know. It matters where you go to church. Yes, sir. It matters. Yes, sir. It matters whose music you're listening to. Yes, sir. Just because that fellow is a Christian doesn't mean that his music is from God. Yes, you gotta be careful. Yes. All right, let me show you this.
At the top of the top, which albums are prayed over demonically. Music is prayed over demonically. That goes out to the world, goes out to the radio stations, goes out to the public. And when you see that stuff and know that stuff, it's frightening.
What do you mean by that, Shane, prayed over demonically?
So rituals, ceremonies, everything to bring to give light to the devil, to Satan. It's a satanic music industry. That's majority of what it is.
Do you mean figuratively, or do you mean literally you've been in...
Literally, yes.
And can you share what those albums were? Were they your albums?
No, they weren't our albums, no. They were not Boyzone albums. So that's what I mean by not every music is that, but it was on the stepping stone to that. So you're going back to the 1993s into 2000s. And then, if you look at what the music is today, the industry is today, for all your Sam Smiths to your Dojo Cats to your Beyoncés they are so demonic, it's unbelievable. And we can't, it's in front of us. And it's something that we, kind of go, oh, it's just music. But it really isn't.
Music is a predominant force in connecting dimensions and realms. Every time you listen to a sort of music you don't understand, you are trafficking demons from another world to another world. There is a dimension you are changing. We are following celebrities, but those celebrities are usually musicians. How many people died in Travis Scott? 8 people. What did he say before the concert? I want to see blood. Blood of who? Of the people, he said. Okay, I think it's playing now. Let's hear.
Aware of just like what you just said, you know, people are always gonna be reaching for that bad headline or that bad thing, you know. So I'm aware. That's why I was just like, man. But when I do my shows, I be so turned, man. Like
it's another level.
Yeah,
when Travis Scott's on stage.
Like, I'm not like the guy that got like, you know, I had the backup dancers. I ain't got the drummers and that. No. I'm all about the blood. You know, we got to turn up. The blood. It's all about rage. Just like
who's bleeding on stage?
I mean, you know, I'm not bleeding, but the fans are like giving their bodies. It's like.
Everybody starts screaming and saying, oh, like I told y'all earlier, you motherfuckers entered the rapture. And if ain't nobody flying up to heaven right now, obviously all y'all motherfuckers going to hell. Right with me. So, let's get it. Oh, you already here. I'm so sorry. You can't get out. You're stuck. It's over. You heard the song a million times and you didn't even know.
And you know, they say it only one line. And after that one line, they sing the music. So in your head, nothing is wrong. Everyone who has ever listened to music, which is secular, and I mean secular, all you were doing was trafficking demons into your life. I don't care how nice it was. And I know you're going to listen after this. The only problem is, while you listen, please be like Travis Scott. He knows he's going to hell. Now we have musicians who are gospel musicians coming here to sing. And when they sing there, they charge you $15,000, $20,000. What a joke.
What was it like going from the secular industry into the gospel scene? Because now you're saved, you let go of the secular stuff. Now you're kind of with the, forgive me for no better term, gospel celebrity or celebrated gospel singers.
Right.
What was that like? Was it easier? Was it better?
It's almost one and the same. I think that Satan's grip on music, it's not just genres that are not necessarily Christian or gospel. I think they all bottleneck into Satan. And I think that the gatekeepers in one are the same as the gatekeepers in another.
The spirituality of music. And this is why demons use music. And the Spirit of God uses music. You have to decide who's going to be boss of music in your life. If it's going to be God, it has to be according to the scriptures. Otherwise, it means that you open it for satanic use.
Music is the art of combining and organizing sounds along with other elements in time to create a composition to produce beauty of form, harmony, and expression of emotion. Music has the power to inspire, uplift, and connect people across the globe.
Music has always been a calling card for people. It expresses who we are, what we care about, our values, and is an expression of self. Well, if your inner self is kind of torn up and tormented, you're going to look for music that expresses those feelings.
That's why you need to be careful what music you listen to. Because if music can get rid of a demon, it can attract one. And most of the music out here now attracts demons. Then you wonder why your lifestyle, you're grooving and bumping in the car, but when you get out, you can't wait to figure out why your life is standing still. Sometimes it's the music that you're listening to, because whoever you listen to is on them attaches itself to you.
Oh, in a sky full of stars, think I saw you.
Behind the captivating beats, catchy tunes, and chart-topping lyrics,
all of those activities, the musicals, are full of symbolisms, Masonic symbols, cultic symbols of various kinds. If you don't understand them, they just look like normal things to you. But if you're spiritually alive and knowledgeable in the word, these things can immediately catch your attention. You can relate to what's going on very quickly.
To my brother Jay-Z, Team Rock, Adam Blackstone, Hell's Kitchen, the Most High.
Good evening, godless sodomites.
Kneel before your God, Babylon!
Making me the highest paid megalomaniacal boy king in all of Babylon!
You see, if you go and visit the very home of the Oscars, where they hold it each year, you can see a plaque on the wall that says, "The Babylonian Corpse." The camera shows you the stage, and you see an unmistakable Tower of Babel embedded into the design.
like anything linked to humans, Satan, being a master of deception, has corrupted the beautiful gift of music created for the worship and praise of our God. Music and art are now the main tools for driving the satanic agenda.
This is how Satan gets to us, is through the media, through music. One of the ways New Age is being marketed to our children is through the singer Taylor Swift. If you go on her Twitter page, or I guess they call it X now, you can see actual tweets where she says, "Are you casting spells this weekend? Or did you cast spells this summer?" You can see where there's a tweet that she has from the Society of Witches welcoming her into their society. You can see in her lyrics how absolutely, it's not only humanistic and secular, but it's Antichrist lyrics. And it's glorifying sensuality and all sorts of things that we do not stand for as Christian women.
For many, these themes might seem like harmless artistic expressions, but their deeper implications could influence societal norms and values in ways we might not fully realize.
And what is Satan's game plan? It's called the magnum opus. Satan's magnum opus, the great work. It is the merging of so-called good and evil until there is no distinction. I said so-called because he doesn't even identify good. He can't identify good. So when Satan tells you he's merging good and evil, he doesn't even know what good is. But the idea is to make sure you can't distinguish between what is right and what is wrong. And the only way you can fall into that trap is through the ignorance of the Word of God.
Music lyrics hold immense power. They shape thoughts, evoke emotions, and even influence behavior. However, not all lyrics uplift or inspire.
The spiritual influence that music has, and this video in particular is actually inspired by a trending Instagram song right now that I keep hearing over and over as I scroll through my reels. That song is called Anxiety by Sleepy Hollow. Maybe you've heard it. It says, "Somebody's watching me. It's my anxiety. Look, SHIT got me tripping, fighting with my demons, and my demons is winning." It's just gaining so much popularity right now. And I've even seen like Christian content creators use it for their own reels. And that concerns me more than anything, right? Because like, I don't expect people that are in the world to produce any fruit other than worldly fruit.
Teenagers and children tend to follow these trends without truly understanding what they are doing or why until much later in life.
I would sneak little bits of spells into my lyrics, which were veiled, like you couldn't really figure out what I was doing with my lyrics.
Would you be able to recognize if someone did that? Like, did you ever see songs maybe on the radio and you're like, this looks like there's something like that? Is there something there?
Oh yes. I see a lot of it, especially in heavy metal, death metal. A lot of it are just strictly spells, but even a lot of pop songs. Like I hear it in mainstream artists, I'm not going to really mention, too many, but read their lyrics again. Hear what they're actually saying, because it's not all fluffy, nice, teeny boppy lyrics. These are actual spells that they're doing and putting in their songs.
We're facing some of the most wicked adversaries of Christianity that the world has ever known, and many people don't realize it. Why? Because what they decided to do was to come with their hand in a glove. In other words, with pretensions. And there are many who already fell by the wayside, towing the adversary's line, and they don't know it.
I'm one of the last straight rappers in the gang, nigga. We promoting beef, we promoting violence.
Satan is using the rock groups as his patsies to evangelize the youth of the world.
The satanic message is clear, both in the album covers and in the lyric, which are reaching impressionable young minds.
More likely than not, your kids have already seen and heard what some of you will see and hear for the first time tonight.
When a form of music that our children like becomes linked with ghoulish images and violent theatrics and even suicide, it demands our attention. Perhaps more to the point, the children need our attention.
Just last week in Centerpoint, a small Texas town, a young man took his life while listening to the music of AC/DC. He was not the first.
We make music for a purpose. It's not just background music, or it's not just, you know, fluffy, light stuff.
This is not elevator satanic music.
No.
It's ritualistic music. It is music that by even the act of listening to it, you are participating in a satanic ritual.
How does it make you feel?
It's very stirring. It's very emotionally charged. You can't listen to this music and say you don't feel something, because you do. I'm sure you would probably feel either hate or fear or rage or something.
You're pretty good at marketing yourself.
That's the devil's place. Illusion.
You mean the devil is alive and well in Madison Avenue?
Of course, advertising
I
is
think
the
you and I
devil's
agree with
trade.
that.
The act of manipulating and using the will and using ritual to create change is, by any definition, satanic. And anyone who does that is, at least an ipso facto, Satanist.
So this is going on around the world. It's been there for a long time. It's not new.
Hope this blessed you, my family. And this was not the full documentary. For the full documentary, you can visit Pastor Chris' digital library and you actually search Soundtrap. You'll find the full documentary over there. Do share your thoughts, like, share, comment, and subscribe. God bless you.